Bitcoin is one of the most irrational and insane things we've ever seen materialize in capitalism, which is saying something. This makes the people that bought the pet rock look savvy. I said that we should be looking for crypto to hit the previous high before this bubble. And that's where it's headed. It looks like it's down to, last I checked, it was at 24,000. Let me see if there's been a, holy moly Christ, on a down 12% today. Holy shit. All right. I'm watching a popular crypto guy on YouTube right now, and he's saying stuff like, why are we worried about the price of Bitcoin? You will never find peace in money. I encourage you to look to Christ for that.
Corn is not $3 a bushel. I have no idea what the price is. Corn is a vegetable or a grain. I don't know what corn is. It's something, but it's not its price. That's just a value ascribed to it.
It's a seed.
Our net worth is not X, Y, or Z. Our net worth is in Christ. We just happen to have some money. Our net worth has nothing to do with money, and Bitcoin's value has nothing to do with its price. Corn is not $3.
Incredible!
Right now. Later in a bit.
Good deal. All right, guys. Well, what's the big idea here? Everything's going to be okay. Bitcoin is down substantially right now. As you guys know, Bitcoin is currently trading at 23,300.
Dude. I mean, like, listen. I've had problems. How old is this guy? How old is Crypto Jeb? Is he 20? I mean, he's literally. I mean, like, god damn, people just subscribe to any shit, do they, huh? All right, let me find this gun all over.
Let's talk about the market first. Jeff, what we're seeing, I think, is still a recognition that the CPI was really horrible. The market was not able to factor in all of how bad it was, and it was a Friday, kind of sleepy Friday afternoon. The sellers are coming right back as the 10-year approaches 3.3%.
Yeah, everyone's watching the 2s and 10s again as an indicator of recession, yields. Yeah, 3.3. It looked at one point last week where maybe the 10-year was going to go sub 3,
right?
Which was like a psychological level. Now back to 3.3. Obviously bad for stock valuations.
Right.
Crypto markets tanking too. So maybe there's people are just kind of saying today, all right, I just want cash.
I don't want stocks. I want cash. Oscillator, though, is only minus 2.3. That is not much of a help. 200 billion wiped out in crypto over the weekend. There was a piece by one of the analysts today which talked about why that some of these places were okay, but they were using 29,000. MicroStrategy's pain point, they own a lot of it, is 21. That's where their margin, that's kind of where they're big trouble. Now, one of the things is that Silvergate Capital, this was recommended by Wells Fargo, this is SI, 29,000, now back below 23,000. So just see, this is a report that came out Friday, which just shows you when it comes to crypto, you could be here today, going tomorrow. I myself pulled out the remainder part of my crypto. I was able to get my actual cash. I think I beat the other sellers to it. I will not mention who it is, other than say that this place at least gave me my money back.
Jesus Christ! Raymoose put some of his own money in crypto recent years, said he was able to get his money out of Ether, the world's second largest crypto, which was tanking 20%. He said he basically broke even on his original investment. He lost money. Monday's 17% plunge set Bitcoin under 23,000. That's a 66% nosedive from its all-time high back in November. The world's largest cryptocurrency is no stranger to the so-called crypto winters that have given way to eventual recoveries back to records. However, Kramer questions whether who he called Bitcoin maniacs are going to come readily into the crypto market to staunch the bleeding as they have in the past. I mean, it's just crashing. It's just totally crashing. 23, it's down 15% today. Today. That's insane. Also, and I want to point this out so everybody's clear. This isn't a period of raising inflation. I thought it was an inflation hedge. Inflation is going through the roof, and yet Bitcoin is crashing harder? I thought it was a hedge against dirty fiat. Ether down almost what, 18%? Jesus Christ. I mean, what can you even say? I said that we should be looking for crypto to hit the previous high before this bubble. And that's where it's headed. It looks like it's down to, last I checked, it was at 24,000. Let me see if there's been a, holy moly Christ, on a down 12% today. Holy shit. I hope you took my warnings over the last year about crypto and the stock market of being massively overvalued bubble. I think I may actually have called the exact top of Tesla. Didn't I even put out a YouTube video about how Tesla is like overpriced? Now, obviously, none of this is what you would call financial advice. But I think that if you did your own research, we have Joe Manchin. If you did your own research, you might have come to the conclusion that Tesla was a bit overpriced. Tesla is a little bit overpriced. Let me see if I can find something on this. But geez, oh Christ almighty, it is not good, folks. So, I mean, here I am 1 year ago, chat. 1 year ago. I was a younger, gentler man. You know? I was a younger, gentler man. Bitcoin was at 35,000. Woo-wee! That's a tough year, chat. That's a tough year. My dad decided to make his career about learning and teaching crypto investing. Oh, no. Oh, no. Socialist Aviator, thank you for the tier 3. Is our alerts working? All right, I tried to fix it. Before you all started paying attention, 23K was absurdly high for Bitcoin. Dude, I've been aware of Bitcoin for a very, very long time, including on this stream. So, yes. Yes, Bitcoin is still up. If you go from the day I started streaming, back in August of 2019, it's doubled in price. You know, it was 10,000. But typically, you don't want to see an investment drop 40% in 1 year. You know, typically that's not considered to be optimal. And if you were unlucky enough to do it for 6 months, you're down 51%. Not good. Not good. Hey, chat, what was the date of the Super Bowl ads? Super Bowl ads crypto. What was the date? Like February? See, chat, there's a lesson. There's a lesson here about bubbles. Whenever they start saying, hey, normal people, buy this investment, that's when that investment is about to take a shit. Fortune favors the bold, chat. Fortune favors the bold. I know people who moved their 401ks into Bitcoin last year. By the way, chat, this is not a surprise because we have a stock market crash. We have a stock market crash. And it's just as bad. Okay, so the January 6th, whatever that happens, we'll jump over to it. But look at this shit. Another 52-week low today. The stock market is at the lowest point it has been in a year. Oh my lord. That's not good, folks. I mean, it's not good if you're an investor, I should say. Most of you don't have any investments. If you have a 401k or a pension, I am sorry. Coinbase plunges more than 14% as Bitcoin dives. So here's the thing. I was told that Bitcoin was a store of value, chat. I made 40% last week on calls on Chinese yuan. I mean, listen. Investing in China, you know, what can you say? Can we take a moment to praise the wise leadership of Xi Jinping for banning crypto last year? It's almost like he could call the exact top. You know what I mean? Huh. All right, I want to see if we could get any videos here because this is another crash, man. Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you, I'm not signing in. Crypto is taking a shit. More than 200 billion erased from entire crypto market in day as sell-off intensifies. Hey. It's necessary that Bitcoin crashes so that, it's good when your coin loses 50% of its value in a year. That's the most stable coin. That's good. Actually, I want to watch this just so we can laugh at it. Let's laugh at this. Listen, it's necessary that all of you idiots overpay massively.
Would love to get your take on what is causing this. Why are we seeing so much weakness right now in Bitcoin prices?
Well, you probably, I'm sure all of your viewers have noticed also, it's not just the weakness in Bitcoin prices. Markets across the board are red. I mean, seriously red. And many of us taking a
Bitcoin's
step back
redder.
will acknowledge that we've sort of been waiting for this. We've known that things were really strained in the markets for some time, the continuing new highs of the S&P 500 in the face of the supply chain crunches, the inflation creep, and the strain on the global economy we're broadly seeing it was just odd. It was disconcerting. To see the markets finally wake up to the reality that the global economy is facing is somewhat, ironically and perhaps in a contradictory manner, somewhat reassuring that finally we are acknowledging that things are difficult, that prices need to correct. And crypto prices are an extension now of risk markets. They have been acting as an extension of risk markets for many months, and this is largely due to the changing nature of the markets, specifically the entrance of institutional investors who treat it very much as a risk asset. And this shakeout that we're seeing now is the healthy flush that all weak markets need in order to be able to start to rebuild.
So as far as the flush, how far into that do you think Bitcoin is? I don't know if I'll ask you to call a bottom necessarily, but is that necessary for Bitcoin prices to go higher? Some of the maybe short-term holders or just...
Hey, listen. For Bitcoin to go higher in the future, does it need to crash really terribly now and unpredictably as a panic sell-off accelerates?
I love the old boom and bust
And all the
smiley
major exchanges slowly become insolvent? Isn't that necessary for it to be good in the future? Incredible.
some of the capitulation to be flushed out? What do you anticipate in terms of possible strength going forward and a rebound here?
Well, the obvious answer is yes to all of the above. And I do have to say that these are my opinions, not those of my employer. Nothing I say is investment advice. But in my opinion, the capitulation does have some way to go still. The markets are weak across crypto and fairly heavily as well. Some of the falls that we're seeing today are eye-watering. And exactly how much lower does it have to go? I don't know. Technical analysts are telling me there's another support at 30K. We could see it go below that, in which case it could go a bit further.
Hey, chat, support at 30K. Support at 30K. Now, admittedly, chat, one of my chatters told me there was going to be support at 30K. And in their defense, it did hold for a week at 30K. But that was $7,000 ago. Whoops. Whoops.
But the volumes will weaken the lower it gets, because we have seen time and time again that there is a floor to Bitcoin prices. We've seen time and time again that when it drops, support does materialize. The on-chain accumulation that we've spoken about before, Kate, is still strong. We are seeing longer-term investors continue to sock Bitcoin away in their longer-term addresses. That said, this week is slightly different in that we are seeing longer-term holders exit the market. And obviously not all of them, but we are seeing more of them exit, and more of them do so at either break even or a loss. This is the signal that we've been waiting for, that we are in the capitulation phase of the market. And yes, I do believe that this flush out is necessary to start shifting the narrative that Bitcoin is not just a risk asset, that it is a longer term store of value with a hard cap. And we're starting.
Hey, it's not a store of value if it dumps 50% in a year. That's not a store of value. That's the opposite of a store of value. That's a speculative asset. Bitcoin is one of the most irrational and insane things we've ever seen materialize in capitalism, which is saying something. This makes the people that bought the pet rock look savvy. At least you got a fucking rock. Tulips, at least you got a fucking tulip. You could plant a tulip. It's pretty to look at. What's Bitcoin pretty? Yeah, they're not pretty.
Starting to see some of that narrative shift show up in the correlations. We know that Bitcoin is more correlated than ever in its history to the S&P 500 and NASDAQ on a shorter term. But we're seeing a shift in some other correlations. I was looking this morning at the correlation between Bitcoin and the DXY index. That's bounced over the past few days. Why? With so much uncertainty in the market.
How come, like, this is incredible. CNBC just has the most charlatanesque people come on and just say total bullshit. Total fucking bullshit. Oh, it's correlated with some other market which had a bounce. No, it's fucking not. No, they don't even bother with charts, which, in case you don't know, technical analysis is bullshit. Bitcoin has always struck me as being very niche in terms of its actual use. Like, it's only for people who want to buy things online anonymously. I wonder what you would want to buy online anonymously, right, Encore? Excuse me, Mike, but 3 slurp juices can make my ape transform. Actually, it doesn't make your ape transform. How many fucking times do I need to explain slurp juices? How many fucking times? When you have 3 slurp juices and an ape, you get 3 new apes, and you keep your original ape. How many fucking times do we gotta explain God damn slurp juices before you people understand? I'm sorry, man. It's very fucking stupid.
In my opinion, it's because we are starting to see the narrative divergence. There will always be investors, Kate, that do see Bitcoin as a longer term play, just as there will always be investors that do see it as a risk asset. Recently, the risk asset investors, they have been setting the prices, but as they leave the market because of the risk aversion, then the control of the price setting shifts to those that see it as a longer term asset. And
so one of the things that's really amazing about this purely psychological babble bullshit, how is this woman on television talking or on a credible website talking about investing, is when the price crashes, a lot of people have their mind changed. Like if you said, hey, I'm going to hold Bitcoin, hold, and then it crashes 70% and you see your entire investment going up in smoke, a lot of people tend to go, maybe this thing was bullshit after all. Maybe dad and mom were right. And they panic sell. The thing about Bitcoin is there's no company at the bottom. See, on the stock market, the stocks are associated with the company. And at a certain point, there's something known as book value, like the money of all the assets minus the liabilities of a company. The stock gives you ownership of those assets. So at the end, eventually, the stock falls far enough, the cost of the literal shit the company owns is greater than the stock, and you can convert, you can disassemble that company into parts and sell them off for cash. There is something there. For Bitcoin, there is no bottom. There's nothing there but a digital ledger of who owns Bitcoins. How low can that go? 0. 0 is the answer. Now, could it go up? Sure. There's a fucking... Hey, if there's going to be a group delusion in our society that worships Bitcoin, well, then Bitcoin can go up. But the idea that there's nothing there. It's all bullshit.
The fact that Bitcoin has been stored increasingly in longer term holdings means that there is less available.
You know what there's not a lot available of? My dirty toilet paper. That's a very limited time production. I only produce a little bit of dirty toilet paper every day, chat. But if you get in early, you can get a piece. Very funny clip by the #1 Bitcoin economist. Listed for 30 seconds. All right, hold on.
It's violence. It's a crime to put a gun to my head and force me to subsidize companies and force me to come at certain conclusions.
Do you find an interesting distinction, we mentioned Michael Malice, between anarchism and libertarianism? So this particular use of violence, this like last resort, this policing force that libertarianism is okay with, and anarchism is not okay with. So basically nation states that keep you safe from the worst of war.
Yeah, I think to be more accurate, the distinctions between anarchism and minarchism. I think libertarianism is kind of a vague term that can encompass both.
Means a lot of things. Okay.
Yeah, but
On the Karl Marx to Michael Malice spectrum, where do you?
no, I'm full anarchist.
You're a full anarchist.
Yeah, full anarchist. I mean, I don't find any justification for the use of force, and I think recently perhaps maybe I'm getting old, maybe I'm getting senile, maybe I'm getting wise, who knows, but I'm beginning to become more sympathetic to monarchy. So I'm an
Every fucking time. So by the way, this is anti-democratic fascist monarchy. I'm becoming more sympathetic to monarchy, which is exactly what all of us said what libertarianism was. For years, those of us on the left said that libertarianism is literally just neo-feudalism, because you hope for a day where there's massive landowners who grant their property to the next generation through inheritance, and you have no fucking social mobility. That's what monarchy is. Everybody, are you a serf? You're born a serf, you're gonna die a serf. Incredible.
anarchist
Sorry.
monarchy.
What is that?
Kings.
Oh,
royal.
monarchy.
Yeah. And I think...
Wait, can you? Are you joking or not?
No, I'm not joking. And I think...
By the way, Chad, Austrian economist. Incredible. There's no such thing, by the way. That's just... Are you watching the stream unsubbed? You're making income inequality worse. You are doing anti-praxis. We are the only Twitch stream that will not accept scam advertisers, and I will never fuck you over by selling you crap.